whole, that were finally free from the scourge of slavery because of what happened in the Civil War, they banded together to create something called the Republican Party, and the Democrats created something called the Ku Klux Klan to find and exterminate as many of those recently freed black men as possible.
You know, in a weird way, I don't know if I'm going on my own little rant here, guys, but I do find it a little disrespectful that people want to talk about from slavery to today and how far our people have come. And I think there's a big gap between the rulers and the regular class, Sean. Like, if you think back then when slavery was happening, I don't know why people act like every white person in even those time periods was like slave owners or whipmasters or something. It's like there were low-class white people in that era of life too, right? And I'm assuming that the low-class whites of that time period were doing the same style of jobs, but they had to pay to live somewhere. They probably had their own economical struggles in that time period as well. And I'm just saying, like, we always think, man, if the white man had, or some people should think this way, if the white man had so much control back here in this time period, how did it ever change? Well, low-class white people said, fuck this, you know, and started fighting for what was right.
Right.
Started running for politics. You know, the biggest problem with politicians in today is that politicians were people a part of the communities and ran for office to make changes within the society they live within. It wasn't monarchies and families and lineages like it is today. Regular people used to run for local, state, and federal office positions. And that's how changes were made, from the regular people in regular society, not these disgusting, you know, plantation owners or people who are part of that society, but the regular people within society made differences by running for office and getting into government, controlling regulation and making things happening. And on the Civil War, how many white people died to change all this shit, Sean?
Right.
I mean, yeah, white people died and white people lived and white people probably fought for it to stay that way and not stay that way. But once again, if you want to talk about like how bad that tribe is, or our tribe of the white man back there, you could go back to the olden days of natives and sacrificing, you know, babies off the top of mountains and doing a human sacrifice. I mean, there's all types of bad things throughout history. But I do think it's a little disrespectful, as being a white guy, personally, that all these changes that happened from this time period to today
were for the better.
No white people are getting any credit for being a part of that change, Sean.
Right.
What the fuck? Talk about not getting credit where it's due.